Like the old man stretch to start the show.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh boy, here we
I hope we don't sound like a bunch of old men complaining about 30 years long gone.
go. All right, drum roll, please. We are live, 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 and here we are, the new triple threat in the house to break down tonight's NXT Vengeance Day PLE. We're going to start right next to me here, the iconic, the legendary, the hero of South Philadelphia. His name's going to be raised on a banner May 3rd at the 2300 Arena. We are at 908 signatures, only 92 away from 1,000. The one and only Mr. Johnny HotBody.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here, especially with the company I'm keeping, Chubby Dudley and Santa Claus. Hey, how could you go wrong, right?
How did I pull this one off, right? And the man below, he actually went into the Santa Claus Hall of Fame for the class of 2024. It's unfucking believable. The one and only Santa Kringle. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Now, you know what? You know what's funny? Johnny has been asking because we've done the Raw show the last 2 weeks, and he keeps saying, he's like, "Where's Santa? Where's Santa?" And then he finally asked the magical question. He's like, "Yo, who is Santa?" And when I told him, he lost it. He couldn't believe it.
You've changed. You've come a long way.
Hey, John.
I remember Santa when he had red hair.
Johnny
Joking,
was,
of course.
Johnny was one of the guys that broke me in back in the day. Him and John Rock used to come up. Johnny used to come up to the school and help out, man. Taught me a lot.
Well, thank you.
I never forgot it, man.
Well,
How is
I forgot a lot. Trust me, I have forgotten a lot.
What?
I think one too many cheers, one too many falls, whatever,
Speaking of which, whatever happened to John Rock?
Yeah, what was the update on him?
My son, John, who's probably watching right now, what's happening, John? He got me a phone number, and I sent a text out, and I got a thumbs up. Never got a phone call or, this is John Rock. All I got was a thumbs up. And I would have thought by now I would have heard something. Nothing.
So weird. I got a number sent to me the other day that we thought was Max Thrasher, and Joel called it, but
Man,
it wasn't him.
Another good dude, man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, weren't you and John Rock cousins?
Who?
I thought you and Rock were related.
That's like saying Jimmy, Johnny, and Jerry were all brothers of the Valiants, the late great Valiant brothers. Yeah, none of those
were
related either. No, Johnny was just a really good friend of mine, just like a lot of guys were. Gary Wolf, Anthony Durante. There was a lot of guys that I was tight with coming through Larry Sharp's Monster Factory.
All this time I thought you guys were related.
Yeah. With South Philly, everybody's a cousin.
Yo, cuz. Well, there was no cousins tonight on NXT's Vengeance Day, but it was a great show. I honestly, I thought it was a hot show, and probably better than the last couple main roster PLEs.
I would agree for the most part. I mean, there was a couple things I didn't like, but I'll say this, man, their women's division blows away the main roster. And when we get to the last match, I got a observation on it, but you got two of the hottest free agents in Stephanie Vacour and Julia, who they were the two hottest free agents on the market for a while there.
What about the TNA champion that showed up at the end? Also, I forget her name. The
Jordan Grace.
The muscle.
Yeah. See, and I think that's a waste. They should have sent her straight to the main roster because they need some fresh people up there, and she can work. Don't judge me.
I will agree with you totally on the women's division. I could totally predict what I see going on right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that till we go by the matches. What I will say as far as the card goes, after seeing the Royal Rumble or whatever that was called that just went by, I'd say this one had a lot more action. It was a lot more hardcore, more realistic. You could believe more of the action versus all that yeeting, smelling feet in, and oh yeah, whatever. I'm just tired of that. But let's go, man. Whenever you guys are ready, however we go, let's get this out, man.
All right. Well, let me ask this question because this was probably technically the second time I truly watched NXT. And is the crowd always that hot?
Yes. Yeah. It's they enjoy what they're watching. They get into it.
It's more like an ECW arena crowd.
It is, and that's why I think they keep that small, to the smaller arenas.
Right.
And I can see that as a problem because this is where a lot of the calls are being made to take talent up way before they're ready. Just because a crowd gets ecstatic doesn't mean someone's over. And that's another thing with the WWE. These people think that they're actually playing a video game where their opinion counts more than the booker and be more creative people. I mean, do we give John Cena wins? Do we give Charlotte a chance to go? These people suck. They suck. They don't believe. They don't belong. These things shouldn't be given to someone just because the fans think it should go that way. Of course, there's always the swerve, which you're seeing less and less of since Vince is gone. It's been more like, let's cater to these people because we just went and got a Netflix deal, which totally sucks. The product lost its quality. Television may look better, but I see it stinks more. It's more advertising. It's more bullcrap than anything. But yeah, go ahead. I get carried away.
Let me run through some comments before we get into the first match. Bill Struthers, I've been waiting for this one. He quite a few people said today after I made the announcement it was going to be the three of us. They were like, "Oh, this is going to be an interesting time tonight." Gianni's in the house. Good evening, my brothers. Raise the effing banner. We are less than 100 away, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Being a Steelers fan, go Birds. Stan Collins, what's up, Stan? He's in the house. Hi, everybody. Bill Struthers again. Definitely better women's division in NXT.
I 100% agree.
Gianni says, I love me some Big Mama Pump. Who's that? Is that Jordan Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill says, yes, the NXT crowd is very vocal. Johnny says, NXT crowd reminds me of an indie show crowd, that for sure. He also says, preach, John, preach. Watch what you ask for, Gianni. Watch what you ask for.
I'm going to make a lot of people unhappy in that roster. I can tell you that, and I only speak the truth from the heart. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I see a lot what goes on. I think I have a better grasp of what this talent needs. But thank you. Hello, Kathy Fitzpatrick, and
another
everyone else.
There you go. Another icon and legend to the area. Kathy Fitz in the house. What's up, Kath?
I
All
got to
right.
say hello to my granddaughters, Remy and Sloan. They're both probably watching, staying up past their bedtime. I know Kendall's probably going to catch us on a rerun, and it's going to be her birthday in 2 days. Happy birthday, my little princess. And that's enough of the good guy you're going to see of me for the rest of the night.
And speaking of past bedtime, it's past grandpop's great bedtime too. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I love this. I love this. You've given me a reason.
all right. So, opening match NXT Women's North American Championship. Stephanie Valkyrie takes on the champion Fallon Henry. And hey, as we've been saying all along, girls bring it. The girls are freaking bringing it. What a match.
Yeah, I Stephanie Valcour was one of the big free agents. Her and Julia, actually AEW had them first,
Okay.
and they did one match, and I guess they didn't like what they saw there, and decided to go to WWE, which I think they made a smarter move. Valcour, I like everything about her. Her stuff looks really tight. Um, she brings it. I mean, very solid match. Fallon Henry's another one that she came along. She's an NXT product.
Okay.
I definitely thought this was one of the better women's matches I've seen in a long time. Definitely a lot better than what I've been seeing on the main product. And that's what kind of bugs me because, I'm watching last night Naomi, who's been in the business for what, 10 years now, 15 years, and she can't perform simple moves. And you got these young girls being held. To me, it bugs me. I just think that they deserve a spot
Do
more
you
than.
think it's because the talent or the roster, the young talent and roster at NXT is more hungry to get up to that main roster?
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. I mean, you want to get to the big show, so you're gonna go all out. But I mean, when you're on the big show, you should still be delivering.
Okay.
Because overall, let me say this. Overall, the whole show as a package tonight, to me, I felt an energy that I don't feel when I watch the main roster.
Agreed.
Agreed. I think the crowd has a lot to do with that. But
Yeah.
what I also think is they're mixing like some of the veterans in there with these young kids,
Hmm.
and they're putting on some good stuff. Like I didn't think that opening match was going to. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be that good.
I'll agree that match was exceptionally well.
Hmm.
Like Santa just said, the women's division again, more action. It seems like they have no problem working with each other. None of them. They look good off of each other's actions, and what you were saying about, I don't know the girls' names in particular because this is the first time I've seen the NXT product in a long time. But the three girls that were cohesively together, the two on the outside, and the one on the one that was working with them. What was her name?
Fallon Henry.
Fallon Henry. Okay. Those three need to go and move on up to SmackDown, and they need to get rid of Naomi and that crew of lackluster. I don't want to do this no more. I'm just going to take a paycheck for what it's worth talent that they aren't. And that's my opinion on those three right there. They need to be brung into that SmackDown division. It's hurting. It's hurting bad. The whole SmackDown roster as a whole, talent-wise, it's missing something. The booking sucks. but those three girls would definitely be a step up. And as far as Valkyrie, is that her name? Valerie? What was the girl with the horns and
Valkyrie, Liar Valkyrie.
and Julia's her name? What was the other girl's name that was in there?
Tonight. Oh, it's Stephanie Valcour. Was that the one with the horns? And yeah, Julia is the champion.
Well, Julia and her could remain where they're at and help that NXT stay there. But as far as the other three, move them on up. And it was a great match. I believe that was one of the best matches on the card tonight.
Yeah. Like I said, the main roster women's, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like Flair coming back. I like Tiffany Stratton.
Right.
And I'm hoping that, her versus Flair isn't the end of her title run, because I don't think they gave her enough time, because she's over and she's getting there. Unfortunately, they don't know what they want to do with her yet, because you don't know if she's a heel or a face, which I think is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But every time, go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say, just like you said, you could see that Flair looks like they're just going to give it to her. Just going to give it to her.
She puts on great matches. And she's a great athlete, but her act's getting old.
I believe the reason why she's there, quite seriously, is because she's a product of Linda McMahon and Ric Flair on a rendezvous one night in a limo, one too many. That's the only reason why I believe she has a job. That's my opinion.
I have not gotten my disclaimer written and posted yet. Too funny. And go ahead, Shannon. Say what you're going to say.
Yeah, but like I said, overall, it was a well delivered match. Valcour's stuff looks really good. She doesn't look like she's counting and waiting for the next move, which is something I've been noticing on the main roster with a lot of the women.
Yeah.
So I think, when they call her up, if they give her a chance, she can be a game changer.
Now, good term, game changer. Something I thought right away from this match that I thought was a game changer throughout the whole show was Booker T at the commentary table.
Really?
I really enjoyed him. I thought he really helped put stuff over. Corey Graves, was it me or since
he's horrible.
He got demoted, and it's like he's scared to talk now.
He wasn't ever any good.
I agree.
I don't know what they saw in him as a commentator.
Well, Michael Cole was enamored with him for about a brief moment, I guess. You know how the new talent gets up there. You gotta do what you have to do to make him look good. He's his prodigy, isn't he? I mean,
I don't know.
Like you said though, Booker calling. I remember when he used to be on Raw calling, and it was a lot more exciting. He had that spin on it, the same as Bobby Heenan. There's some guys that are great at doing that.
Oh, yeah.
The color commentary part is, you need that. And there's another thing lacking from the main big show.
Agreed.
And it's got to do with that Netflix deal. I believe it, and I'll stick by it.
I mean, I dread when college football season starts, because I think McAfee adds a lot when he's there, man. He's, he brings some excitement. And the fact that he just doesn't care, jumping up on the desk, and
he's a total mark for everything, and it's great.
Yeah, and the worst part is he's probably a better worker than half the roster.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his matches?
I saw one. Was it it might have been like WrestleMania 2 years ago or whatever? And I was like, holy shit, the dude could work.
He agreed to do a match, he literally said he's not going to come in and make wrestling look bad. And he really does it, man. The dude can work. And he's fun to get in there, but yeah, like you guys said, man, the announcers, if you ever watch AEW, that's one thing that kills them is the announcers are just horrible because you got Bay's favorite wrestler, Taz. Who
are their announcers? Taz? Is it
was he
Taz
a
Giovanni?
Was he a wrestler?
Taz?
He was a joke, man. Come on.
He was. He was.
Again,
listen,
disclaimer.
Man,
This is the words of Johnny and not me.
You want to go down that avenue of the Paulie leeches that were
No. We're not. No. We're not
Okay.
going down that avenue. We're not going down that avenue.
Anyway, so
all right. Let me run through some messages. Gianni says, "Happy birthday to the little princess."
Oh, that's nice.
Bill Struther says Stephanie has some great talent.
Yep, great. Like I said, the fact that they snagged her when she was a free agent was they got themselves a good one there.
Santa, your cat wants your attention. Laugh out loud. I heard of some of the NXT talent wanted to stay in NXT and not go to the main roster because they were just going to be buried. You know what? That's smart. I don't blame them.
Speaking of buried, Waller and Theory there, huh?
I can't wait to get into that match.
Yeah, them two. I don't know how you can't do something with them.
I do.
Michelle Stern in the house. What's up, Michelle? She says, "Hey guys, this is probably the best show I've seen in a long time, especially the women's matches." Got to agree.
Absolutely.
Gianni says Flair is overrated, and I hope you're right, Santa.
I hope so too, because like Tiffany is a breath of fresh air, and if they just have Flair going over just because she's back, same thing with Alexa Bliss. They're too like, yeah, they're just. Now Johnny will know what I'm talking about, and Bay will too. Back in the days of the indies, you didn't stay in one place forever because they had, you could always come back, but when you're there too long, the product gets stale. Like, how many times do you want to watch, Nia Jax blow a spot?
Oh, come on now. You believe it's Nia Jax that's the problem? You don't believe it's the other girls that are afraid? I seen her work a match with Rhea Ripley. And listen, I actually seen a lot of matches.
And you know what?
Nia can work. Listen, Nia can work, brother.
I've been waiting for this conversation.
Listen, do you believe there's a lot of guys that are better than Nia? I mean, come on. You see LA Scum? Do you see? Come on, bro.
Only thing Nia can work is a buffet. Listen. That she has.
Watch because she.
Did you hear the sigh?
Listen, when you're going down them chimneys, you better. You could slide down her chimney, and you'd have problems.
Woo. Listen. She is the most dangerous worker I've ever seen in my 30 plus years of being around the business. She's sloppy. She's dangerous. And she's hurt a lot of people. Now that, like in this run, she's dialed herself back, I guess, because they can't afford. But I remember a few months ago, they were going to have her versus Jade Cargill.
And Jade Cargill sucks.
That was the problem. That was the problem.
Nia could work. Listen, if you stick someone in the ring with no talent, are people that are
they do, Nia.
You're wrong. I'd like to see you in a match with her. I think she'd slam you right through the apron, Sam.
Oh, I agree
think
right
she'd
there.
Slam you so hard, Rudolph's nose would come off. Yeah, and you tell Rudolph I said that.
We'll agree. We'll agree to disagree. Oh no.
Absolutely. It's all fun.
Magic Mike is in the house. He says, "What's up, guys?" Gianni says, "Okay, fathers, please put the women and children to bed. Johnny is shooting again." Booker T is great. Magic Mike says. Stan Collins says blank. Corey Graves is amazing all these years. Magic Mike says.
Magic Mike also thinks that Nia Jax can work. So
Gianni says the chemistry with Graves and Michael Cole, I don't see it. With Graves and others, and wait, I don't. Wait.
yeah, I see what he's saying. With him and Cole, I think that was more Cole. Yeah, I think that was more Cole being able to carrying him.
Yeah,
which if you get somebody who can carry you, that's a good thing. He doesn't have that person to carry him because Booker T kind of goes off on his own. The other guy's too new to be carrying anybody.
Prime example was exactly what you're saying, Sam. It was tonight where, Corey, whenever I'd see him with Cole, he was always in tune with Cole, and they had nice banter back and forth, and they were able to go along together. Tonight, I think Corey said 3 sentences because he didn't have anybody to really be that Jim Ross main guy carrying the match, and to have Booker T and him come in off of. And
I was going to say showing up for a paycheck, I guess, because when he went on YouTube or where Instant Scam or wherever it was where he's bad mouthing the company, I guess now you got to sit there, get your few words in. At least you said something and get a paycheck. I don't think he'll have a renewed contract, not unless something really bad goes wrong with Pat McAfee being able to come back on and off the way he does. Like Santa said, Pat McAfee works a lot better than Corey. Yeah. Definitely. He's into it. You could see he's definitely into it.
And Magic Mike says Pat is money. Bill Strother says Pat versus Vince was good. Is that who he worked? He worked Vince? I saw Pat in NXT against Adam Cole. That match was good as well. Pat's amazing on commentary as well.
Yeah, he did work. No, he didn't work Vince. He worked somebody else. I can't remember who. And then he worked Vince, and Vince beat him up.
Rhea Ripley was at AEW. I mean, you see a lot of WWE talent and vice versa back and forth at shows.
Well, that's because it was in Australia. And she was probably there to support Tony Storm.
Graves can work. I followed him on the indies around Pittsburgh. I hope he can wrestle again.
Nah, he's completely done.
Hey, Santa, at least Bliss is nice to look at.
Yeah, but like she's just so small, man. She's just not believable.
Yeah. Nia Jax don't blow spots, according to Magic Mike.
I'll make a Nia Jax mixtape for you.
Gianni says you don't overstay your welcome. I know that, Santa.
That's right.
Yeah, we got Jeremy Cornetti's in the house. What's up, brother? Hey, don't get Johnny started on all this. We'll be here forever. The Freemasons are looking for you, he says.
I'll give him my address. I'll teach him a few things.
Faye Struthers, she says Nia is 100% the problem. The only thing she knows: food, fork, mouth. Wow.
Wow.
She has a job wrestling. I know a lot of people don't, and that's all that matters.
That's
and
it.
She's not related to The Rock.
Gianni, did she hurt your feelings by not going out with you? Is that why you're so upset, Santa?
No, that was Sherry Martel.
Yes. Sherry, if it wasn't for Kevin Sullivan.
If it wasn't for Kevin Sullivan, I would have been.
That Sherry Martel thing would have happened.
I would have been Mr. Sherry Martel right now.
Did you ever hear that story, Johnny?
No,
No.
I would like to hear
Earl-
this.
early days of ECW, um, at a TV taping, when they first started running the arena, um, me and Santa were hanging at the old Philly Marriott with
Yeah.
everybody, and we ended up in somebody's room. I forget who. It might have been Johnny Grunge's room. And there was a whole bunch of us there. We're hanging out, we're drinking, and Sherry Martell was all over Frank Santa, all over him. Anything Santa said, Sherry was completely enamored and sucked into Santa. Like it was unbelievable. And I was watching the whole thing unfold, and I kept saying to myself, Santa's going to sleep with Sherry Martell tonight. Santa is going to get Sherry. This is like locked in, done deal, and it's progressing nicely. And all of a sudden, Kevin Sullivan comes in the room, and he like realizes what's going on, and he totally cockblocks Santa and got Sherry out of there.
I never forgave him.
He might have saved her life.
He totally saved her life.
I never forgave that man.
Uh, I'll never forget that night. I can still picture her like just staring, like she was in
Dude,
love.
I was like, man, I had game that night. I was Michael Jordan that night. Every shot was 3 points, man.
There you go. It was.
She was really a nice person, though,
She
man.
was.
Really, she was a sweet girl, man. I enjoyed hanging out with her and talking to her. Kevin Sullivan.
All right. Next match, tag team championship. You have the champions, Nathan Frazier and what is it, Axiom,
Yes,
taking on
Axiom.
Axiom, taking on Josh Briggs and
Yoshi Amora.
Yeah,
Yoshiki Amora.
Excellent work.
I love Amora.
Yeah, man, hard hitter.
Wow.
I think
full contact.
What a great fucking match this was.
Do you think that kick that masked kid threw was for his life when he caught it? He listen, man, those chops they would put Gunther in the fourth row. So serious. I would love to see that match. Gunther against that man right there. What a chopping machine. His partner, ignorant anus. I wouldn't put listen, man. He belongs with CM Punk, picking up the chairs, doing janitor work, whatever. What's his name? Josh Briggs. He's got this thing smoking on his shoulder. He's looking into camera. Dude, how long you going to stand there looking into camera? What were you looking for? A date? Unreal. No good. Pass.
Well, that's the writers for you. That's the writers, man. They do what they're told.
That. Yeah, and that kid's been in the business long enough to know that you shouldn't be swearing and cursing up a storm when the camera's on you and you got people that are paying for spots. And the kid needs to stay right where he's at. I would never move him up on the roster until he learned a better attitude. Yeah.
I think I like I said, I think I like them a lot better. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, I don't know what they're big. They're good workers, but they're spot monkeys.
Yeah.
They don't have the personality, and you saw it tonight because the crowd was so into Briggs and Amora that. Like I was totally shocked that they didn't give them the straps tonight, and then they had Amora do the clean pin, which really bugged me. Because he was the standout in that match, and I really think with the right booking, he could be another Jacob Fatu.
Do you see that tag team breaking up? and those two working against each other because of that pin? Could that be the reason why taking the clean pin was used? Could the writers probably have a thought process there? As far as the two guys that are flipping around like burgers on
I heard that, Santa.
skillet, uh, yeah, those guys belong with Ricochet, man. On the unemployment line, all that flopping around and all that stuff. I don't like that. That
Well,
stuff is no good for the business, especially when you got big guys beating on you. You're just popping back up. How do you make it realistic when you have a bunch of circus clowns? That's what I take those two for, and I'm sure that they could probably work a hell of a lot better than I ever could had in my whole career. But the thing still is, like you said, no personality, flopping around, no weight behind their asses. They're both like sticks blowing in the wind. Wrestling, we're having to the big guys, man. You know what I mean? This is a sport for big guys, and
Not no more.
not no more.
Well,
And it's a shame you got the Game Boy out there because that's what it reminds you of, Game Boy.
the thing that's now I'm going to give you what I liked. They worked this match like two little guys working two big guys should have worked.
Yeah.
That part was fine.
Yeah.
They were going back, but like I said, I don't know what these writers get something in their head and they want to push somebody even when it's not, either you stop pushing them or they're not getting over. That's the problem with Cargill. They're going to push her when she comes back. My bad. I had salad for dinner. Oh, I didn't know that would go out over
You're mic'd. How would you not know?
I ain't mic'd. My ass ain't mic'd. But yeah, I mean the match was great. I thought Briggs and it's a first. It's a first. I thought Briggs and Amora were like really spot on, man. They were putting on a great match. I just thought that ending was flat. I definitely, I don't like them as a tag, even though they were a good tag team. I don't like them as a tag team because they don't seem like they gel from that. But I definitely think Amora should be given a singles push.
They just might. Like I said, for them, for a clean pin like that, you would believe that you'd have the infamous tag team turn. When the partner puts his hand out and he's not in the corner. It's kind of like you see the writing. Yeah. Well, at least that's what I would do, because if you don't do something like you said, that where are those two going to go now? Really, what could you do with them?
I'm old school, and when you have a guy that size take a clean pin to a guy that size, I think you just killed all his momentum and heat.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he should have been taken. Like, I would have been okay if they did something to set him up. Especially when they were going to have that stupid, whoever those guys are, jumping people at the end. Because
do we not know who they were? Is that what the thing is?
Yeah,
the one idiot's mask came off.
Yeah,
it's a poor imitation of the Shield. That's what it looks like, and I believe the one dude may have been the Samoan. I'm almost positive that one dude, the one big dude, he kept his mask on. He had his hair pulled into the deal there.
I think they're performance center kids who haven't gotten the call up yet. But again,
If they
just
hadn't
had
got the call up, what were they doing there tonight? Just stopping in for a hamburger and hot dog with a soda and fries? Or were they helping Nia Jax on her next spot? So far, you made a lot of bad calls, Santa. I can
they
see why you missed my house on Christmas. I got nothing from you.
check your chimney.
I don't have a chimney.
But yeah, my like I said, you had them lay out your champions, and no, because even the crowd was like, "Who are you?" That was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, they were chanting it. Who are you?
I felt the same way with the whole card. Every match that I was watching, I'm saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" And even with Rosie O'Donnell sneaking in on the end.
Well, I'll say this when I like because I'm a total outsider for NXT. So when I watched this, when these four guys came out for this match, I said to myself, "Here's two tag teams and four guys, and none of them look like they go together for any team." So I was not expecting much, and I was totally enamored in the match, and I thought was like this is a great fucking match. But then, like Santa said, then you have this clean pin, and this is what bothers me in today's professional wrestling. And we had it happen, I think, at least twice tonight, where you have all these major power moves. You have three-way matches and four-way matches where there's three people landing on top of each other. They're coming up the top rope. They're doing all these high spot, big time freaking finishing maneuvers, and they're kicking out on two, or it's the pins getting broken up on two, and then you have a clean finish. To me, something like that does not make sense. I don't understand why they would do that.
No, especially like I said, I seen a lot of potential in Briggs and Amore as a team, and them as singles, and I just thought you just killed any momentum they had.
Who is Lee Fitting? Because we all know who Paul Levesque is, right? So who's this Fitting?
I don't know. I see his
That's
name
a
on
good
everything.
question. Yeah.
Well, could that be Paul's name for writing? I mean, ghostwriters. What? Who is this dude? If he's responsible for this crap writing, like you just said, you have a clean pin that means nothing unless you do like I say, being old school.
I'm looking it up
break
right now.
the tag team.
Lee Fitting is a former ESPN employee who's now with them.
Well,
who actually was. Oh wow, he was fired from ESPN
for misconduct.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He's here, and guess who else is in a little bit of trouble? Paul Levesque, and I believe that what's his name? Bruce Pritchard's supposed to be taking over everything. The cases aren't done with McMahon. Yeah, but that's another story. Because if this is the clown that's doing the writing, and this is the writing team that's doing all this professional wrestling, not knowing what to do with talent and doing clean finishes for guys like you just alluded to, unless you're doing something with the two big dudes challenging each other and the two little dudes going to the end of the unemployment line or to the beginning of the there's no need to do what they're doing with this kind of setup.
Does it seem to, am I the only one that kind of feels anymore when you have a clean pin, you feel disappointed?
There's a time and a place for it.
Oh, the clean finish. When you see people jumping around through moves that should be annihilating you, putting you out, and then you get a clean finish. Yeah, it does. It takes away from everything you just seen.
Exactly.
It really does.
That's how I feel.
This is somebody's booking that I know of. I happen to know him. He once put his arm around me and said he was my buddy. I know this kind of writing, and I know where it's coming from. I really do. This product is the product that's born out of the arena where we're going to have our lowering of the flags there, the banner. Yeah, you know who's writing this stuff, man. I believe he hired his guys. Like the show's coming on, you have the Dudley boys teaching these guys who's been schooled by Paulie. You have all these guys teaching this talent that's been trained and writing the same old crap. This is what I mean. This is not fresh stuff. It's rinse, repeat, wash. It's it's bad wrestling. It really is. And when you have talent that can actually work, and you're not using them to their potential, as long as you're selling tickets to these kids, I guess who cares? Who cares? We're making it like we're acting as if our opinions, although everyone's entitled to an opinion, our opinion isn't going to matter because it's kids that are filling up these arenas. Quite seriously.
Well, Gianni says the who are they four guys reminded him of aces and eights.
Like I said,
And that gimmick was horrible.
The writing of the Dudleys, remember that in TNA, I think it was, or something like that, aces and eights, WC, wherever they did that corny crap.
Jeremy says, Kyle Thomas, where are you? You're missing all the fun. I added the last part. I don't understand how people think WWE without Vince is any better. It seems boring to me.
That's what I say. I'm with him. I'm with him because Vince wouldn't give the people what they want. You wouldn't know what to you sit at home, you know what's going to happen. That's what makes it even more boring. How could you really be into a match if you know, well, Charlotte's going to win this one and we know it? Where's the swerve? Where is the swerve? Joel Goodhart needs to have a job here.
I go back to Bay and I had this conversation many times. These TV writers, they don't know how to tell a proper wrestling story. They write themselves into a hole, or they just don't know where to go with something. They need to bring back workers as the bookers.
Santa, these are not TV writers. These are not TV writers. These are wrestlers who were told. These are ex-wrestlers and ex-managers that were told at one time, because they were the new kid on the block, that they were great at what they were doing. Oh, boy. Wrestling is taking a backseat, and it definitely needs Vince McMahon back. Is that what we're saying?
That's the scary part. Jeremy says, I wish Vince and Shane would show up on AEW and shoot on WWE. Honestly, I think that is the biggest thing that would save AEW.
He'll never go for it because he's another idiot that wants to be he thinks he's Booker of the Year.
Jeremy also says, "Hey, I liked aces and eights."
Are you saying that the reason why it wouldn't work is because you have a booker that would put himself over before he would be concerned about the product?
Yeah, he is so pig-headed, that dude.
Who's been the number one booker that's been so pig-headed on WWE that the story of the bloodline has been drawn out so long that all the other talent was given a back seat just so we could have one booker and his ideas be the main product of what is a lame duck. No, I don't even answer. And listen. I
don't know who booked the angle. That's why there ain't no answer.
Let's go on to the next match.
I just want to run through a couple more comments. Johnny's making a lot of sense right now, according to Gianni.
I've always made sense. That's why I was blackballed. Everybody thought Johnny was thrown off, because everybody wanted to make themselves look great. I was interested in making a whole product look great. I wasn't interested in my boys looking good. Yeah. Lord knows.
Let's see. Santa, the key word is writers. We don't need that in wrestling. We need bookers.
Agreed.
The bloodlines. It has been ridiculous how they call the bloodline this great angle when it was just a faction where you have where if you're a Samoan you get a job, if you get brought in, even if you suck.
Jeremy is absolutely correct.
The bloodline storyline was over like Rover, according to Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, what about the rest of the product? There's the problem. You have the booker booking himself as the main deal. All the TV time is based around him. There was a couple other bookers that I'm not going to name their names because they've passed on, but they did the same thing to their product. They made it about them, and the rest of the talent all suffered because of that. And then they turn around, these great bookers, and they go, how come we're not selling tickets? Maybe because you're not the king of Philadelphia. I don't know. Next.
Jeremy said, I watched a good amount of bloodline stuff. I hated it. And he also says, I actually saw Roman Reigns as the second coming of The Rock. I liked him until the bloodline.
Well, that says a lot, Jeremy, for real. The Rock, come on, man. Come on, another one. Come on.
All right, next up, we had a strap match. We had Eddie.
What made The Rock famous? Mick Foley. Next.
There you go. It was Mick Foley, Steve Austin, and Vince McMahon.
Yes, there you go. But the greatest matches at that time period that The Rock was able to make himself look like, Mick Foley put that man over, and this man suffers today while that man owns half of Hawaii while Burns. Next. Don't get me started, bro. You'll hear truths that will make your skin cringe. Let's go.
All right, well, we're going to talk about Skin getting smacked with the strap in the strap match next. Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams. And I got to say, now, this is, I think, the second time I've seen Trick Williams. Dude's over like a motherfucker. And I think he could get a spot on that main roster.
I don't understand why he hasn't been called up yet. He's got a good look. He can work the bike, and he can work.
Yeah.
Although I'm begging somebody to know what the hell a strap match was. I have never seen a strap match where the strap didn't have a strap on it.
What about taking the man
slid
to
on the wrist?
What about you have to touch 4 corners?
I was going to get into that.
I were in a match. We had to touch all 4 corners. I mean, you've been
yeah.
Have you not been in a strap match? You may have been, right?
Yeah. Strap match and a dog collar.
There you go, man. 4 corners.
And guess what? The strap got strapped to my damn wrist.
Yes, it
did. Because if you watch that, they put it on Eddie Thorpe. And did you see he went to do something and it came right off of his wrist?
Yep.
So the rest of the match, they were holding it. I'm like, how literally and I'm blaming Shawn Michaels and whoever else was in the back. When they saw that strap, how they didn't send that to wardrobe and said, fix this. All you had to do was add a buckle, some holes, boom, you got a strap. Them two were spending so much time holding it to make sure it didn't slide off that I think they were taken away from some of their moves.
I think the match was, other than that part of it being, and the touching of the 4 corners, I think the match had a lot of action in it. The strapping was pretty good. Those guys are going to have welts on them all over.
Yeah.
As far as what's his name, Trick
Williams.
He's an Eagle, right? He was an Eagle.
Yes, he was. He was a Philadelphia Eagle at one time.
I bet right now he's kicking himself in the ass. He could have been wearing a Super Bowl ring, and
well, he wasn't that good.
well, whoever said the Eagles were any good, they got lucky. Look, I can't. Well, never mind. And I'm from Philly, and I have the right to say that.
No, you
but
don't.
anyway, born and raised Philadelphia, the South, and the Eagles still suck. But anyway, he had a great match. I guess he's a better wrestler than he is whatever position he played in football. I thought the match was good. The other guy that he was wrestling, never seen him work either. Both of them talent, man. I thought
both. Yeah, I thought both were talent. The only thing that bothered me when Eddie Thorpe came out, as Santa's holding up his Eagles picture.
No, that's Trick Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was him I actually thought that was Santa when he was younger. I love these guys. You know what gets me? I'm just one step back. I love these guys. I run into these guys all the time. All these big sports people. You see my team. You see what we do. Yo, you see what we did. You see, you didn't do nothing. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You see my team. None of them owned the team. Why? I don't get it, man. But go ahead. Yeah. And as far as Thorpe goes, excellent worker.
I loved his in-ring stuff. I loved the match. Like Johnny said, they're going to have fucking welts all over them. They beat each other up really nicely with the strap. But the only thing that bothered me, when Eddie Thorpe came out, his entrance, he was doing the dance that Bianca Belair does when she spins her fucking weave. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, he just needed to weave to spin. He was doing the same exact dance.
I think he's trying. That's, you're going to laugh, but that's how they promoted him.
Is that what they're going for? Indian hip hop?
So when they brought him in, he was a face. He was a Native American DJ.
Okay.
I didn't understand that gimmick.
They actually let him perform with that gimmick.
So apparently he is a legit like
DJ,
famous DJ.
Okay.
But like the two things don't. That's like saying, hey, we're gonna put a chicken leg on a McDonald's hamburger.
They tried that once before in WCW with some dude. He was supposed to be like PM Dawn or PM something.
PM News.
Yeah, PM. Yeah, he was supposed to rap. Yeah, that gimmick didn't work for that cat either.
He had like one word. It was like a yo. It was like something so like.
You mean like yeet?
It wasn't even that good. Come on.
Don't get Bay started. He'll yeet on himself.
Come on. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Wait till May 3rd.
I didn't know if he was a tough guy or if he was going to be one of them dancers from back in the day that used to strip, the male strippers. What were they called?
Chippendales.
Chippendales. I didn't know what he was, tough guy or Chippendale in the beginning. But regardless of that, the match was great. You asked how the match was. I think the match was great. Good. You couldn't have asked for a better match, except like maybe if they wrapped the strap around their hand, would have worked it on the head, busted somebody open, got a lot of juice. Yeah.
And I think because Trick Williams took the pin, I think he's getting the call up after Mania. Because they just took the belt off him. They put him in this feud, and you can always tell when someone's getting ready to get the call from NXT because they take the belt off him, and then they kind of slowly decline him and let him like kind of disappear into the wind. So he'll probably be showing up on Raw or SmackDown the week after Mania.
That would be good. Be good to see him there.
The only thing I could see them doing with him when he comes up the roster that'll kill his career is they dress him in a football outfit the way they try to dress Tony Stetson in a hockey player outfit.
The Broad Street Bully.
Yeah.
PM News delivered newspapers to a gas station I once owned in Connecticut. Great dude.
I think he's kidding, right? He's got to be
yo
kidding.
baby, yo baby, yo. That's what he used to do. That was his big thing.
That's right.
Yeet.
Yeet's way better than yo baby, yo.
I was thinking if you put, what's his name, Yeet guy? Jimmy Uso?
Jey
if you
Uso.
put Jimmy Uso, Tony Atlas, and LA Knight together, you would get Yeet feet, yeah.
So, and everybody be doing this with their legs, with their feet up in the air. and Tony would be losing his mind.
Dude, the first time I was in a locker room and seen that,
All right, let's go to the next thing.
Aren't they
Let's
doing
go
that?
on. Let's not bring. Come on. Next. Come on.
Aren't
next.
they're doing a dark side of the ring of Tony Atlas. He's on
Oh
the
my
new
God.
season. It's going to be a whole lot of feet going on.
I think they might be doing that because he was there when Brody got stabbed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
well, he was already in the Brody one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do they rehash these stories because they really have nothing? Come on. How long could that dark side of the ring be on Tony?
Yeah.
10
exactly.
minutes.
Magic Mike says, thanks, Bay, for adding Johnny because I'm getting bored with Santa, whom I heard blew spots back in the day. Love you, Bay.
Yeah, you know what? I blew him like Nia Jax.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you really don't like Nia Jax. I'd say we booked that match on the 2300 arena card. Yeah.
Gianni also says, hey, ain't there anything? Hey there, ain't nothing better than the soggy beaver. That fucking shirt will live on, John.
All right, next match.
Next was actually, they showed what they did earlier in the week. Big, kind of a shock surprise out of nowhere. Ricky Starks, who was like the hot indie thing, came out on NXT.
Huge signing. AEW totally dropped the ball on him. That kid he's money. They didn't give him they should have gave him a title run.
Would it have made a difference, Santa? AEW such a bad product.
It is, but
everybody's wants to retire from here. Who wants out of here? But go ahead. I don't even watch it. You know better.
Yeah.
You definitely
Yeah, but they WWE got themselves I can't see him staying in NXT too long. But he's going to get a nice little run down there and then get the call up, which I'm glad he's not getting the call up right away because I don't see where they have a spot for him right now. So I don't want to see them waste him.
Never seen him work. Have no opinion on him. For real. The way they speak of him, though, you think he's the next, dare I say the name, CM Punk? Go ahead. Never seen it.
All right. After that was the next match of Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. And honestly, I fell asleep on this match. Legit fell asleep. But from what I saw, I thought it was a nice match.
Ethan Page, another AEW guy that they couldn't figure out what to do with, so they let him go. Very solid worker, good on the mic, good personality. I can see him as a very solid mid-carder on the main roster. I'm not a fan of Javon Evans. I think he's just, you know, a jump around, high spot, no real personality to speak of.
Here's a thing. I was thinking about this in the back of my head. I'm watching this kid, and I'm saying, man, reminds me of the moves of Kofi Kingston when Kofi was young. I think if you put this kid with New Day as a new third wheel with the New Day to give a little life to this kid's career. It may help him do just what you're saying, add some kind of personality to him. The kid could work. He absolutely could work. The I thought the match was a good match, like you said. As far as the
Yeah,
other,
it was a good match.
it was a good match. And as far as the other three, what's it? The Ego Kid.
Ethan
Yeah,
Page.
yeah. Uh, I almost thought that was EC3, the Ethan Page. What was his name? Ethan what? Remember that kid?
Yeah, EC3. You know what? Everybody's called him EC3.
He could be EC4. You know what I mean? But seriously, I think the kid could work, but as far as that name and that gimmick goes, he's got to drop it somewhere at the post office and move on. If he wants to continue a career, he could come back as something new. They did it to Baron Corbin 9 times, and now they got the kid that was 10. What was his name? That idiot. 10, the perfect 10. He's there.
Sean Spears.
Yeah, that kid's lucky to have a job. Seriously, man. I don't know who he's related to, but such is the business, right? We're all talking about it. We should be employed, right?
Yeah. So true. So true. All right, next up. This fucking match, holy shit. This was the holy shit match of the night, in my opinion. Obafemi, this is my first time seeing him, and wow, did he fucking impress the fuck out of me. Against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who technically are tag team, correct, Santa?
Yes.
So it was a 3-way match. What a great fucking phenomenal match and output from all 3 guys. Holy shit.
And this is why I don't understand why Theory doesn't have a job. Oh, I do understand. That's right, because Vince McMahon founded him. He was supposed to be the next John Cena, that kid. And with the talent I seen from that kid, absolutely could be that guy. It's a shame that they pushed him out of the way, because I believe of him being Vince's guy. As far as this Waller goes, I'm not a fan of he's the perfect heel. He makes you want to reach into the TV and choke the life out of him. That is the sign of a great worker. Kind of like The Miz. The Miz, you in the beginning, I'm not talking about like this end of his career shit. I'm talking about when you really couldn't stand The Miz. Able to work, man. That's the sign of a guy that could have you believe what he's doing, But I don't see him as a main event guy, Waller. I see him as a curtain jerker and helping the young talent get over quite seriously.
You know what? He's perfect as the second to Austin Theory. But there is no reason that Austin Theory shouldn't be getting a main event push.
Now, how about this Obafemi guy? What's his deal?
That was the best I've seen him look so far.
Okay.
And there's the reason why. And that's the reason why.
He's a big guy. I think he's a guy that's going to need a manager or someone as a mouthpiece. I think without it, he's going to be kind of pushed off to the side. The problem is when they go to the main roster, they don't know how to book a lot of the big guys. I mean, look at what they're doing to Braun Strowman.
Look what they're doing to the Giant. What's that? The Giant. He's 7 foot something. The Nigerian Nightmare. Where's
he's in Japan. Yeah. He's in Japan making a killing right now.
Yeah,
He's working. He's working in Japan. He's a champion.
but he's a WWE guy who
Yeah,
they
he's still under
yeah,
contract.
and they can't do anything with him, and
They
it's a shame. I believe that's because of the talent that the whole roster reflects. That there's not the big guys are gone. What do you have? Braun Strowman
well,
and
they don't know what to do with him. How do
and,
you not know
and
how
the
to
big
book a guy
redheaded
like that?
dude, the one that they put with the scary guys.
Bronson Reed.
Bray Wyatt's brothers, Crew 6. What is this? The one
Wyatt
with the
6.
red beard.
Eric Rowan.
Yes, Eric Rowan. Yeah, he gets lost in the shuffle with that deal too. Where back in the day, those guys. If this was back in the day, Vince would have those guys working the way he did with the Undertaker. He'd make those guys stars for their size and their ability.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that match last night on SmackDown, and to have Braun Strowman being the job boy for that triple threat last night was just a disgrace. But they don't seem to know what to do with him. I mean, the guy is almost 7 foot tall, built like a brick, what house.
He was flipping 18 wheelers when Vince was there, right?
Yeah. How do you not know what to do with him?
No, I don't know.
So, yeah, I will say this is the best I've seen Femi look. They're pushing him. We'll see where it goes. He just got the belt about a month or so ago. So we'll see what they do with him.
Well, I think I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Just flipping over to that main roster real quick. A few weeks ago they did that angle with Jacob Fatu and Strowman, where Fatu snapped and completely just destroyed Strowman. And I thought to myself, all right, you just made Jacob look like, yes, this amazing heel monster, but this monster Strowman you just made look like a piece of shit. You just destroyed him. I'm like,
exactly.
I couldn't, there's nothing.
The same thing they did in the tag match earlier. You had this former sumo wrestler get beat by a guy that didn't weigh as much as one of his calves.
Wow.
It kills all the momentum. Strowman has no momentum now.
No.
He'll wind up at NXT.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. So, all right. So, going in, just reading through the comments real quick. All right. So, going in, we had the main event, which was the Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. We had the champion Julia taking on the hell was her name? We had Bailey, who was Johnny's favorite, aka Rosie O'Donnell. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I thought this was the same as the other match earlier with the clean pin. We had these 4 girls go out there for 20 minutes, show us all these devastating moves. We're getting superplexes. We're getting this plex, that plex, all these amazing backbreakers and this breaker and that breaker and this breaker, and all these kickouts at 2, all these broken up pins at 2, and then we get a clean finish. How do you have a clean finish when you have 4 competitors in the ring is fucking beyond me.
Well, I wanted to look up something while I'm talking. So my problem is I hate 4-way dances. It's just too much. It's too cluttered, because it's always, I'm going to get in the ring, beat this one up. The other 2 got to sit out of the ring and look up. Oh, I'm hurt.
Yeah, they got to go lay there and yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, I thought if you wanted to get Julia over, let her work Bailey.
I
And
think Bailey's dead weight. I don't think they needed Bailey. The match was good enough with the three girls. Bailey, see, I just don't get Bailey. I'm not a fan of Bailey.
I'm a
Um,
Bailey fan, but I agree with Johnny.
I
There was
don't.
really no need for her to be there, and I think it might have been a better match.
One of the
Um,
girls from the first match that was on the outside could have been in this match if you wanted to have
a
four
four-way.
girls involved. There was two girls that were standing outside in the first match. They could have been involved in that. They could have did a run in. They could have did anything but give Bailey another shot at another title, only to, like, is she on like some kind of tour for the most losing at all titles? I mean, for trying the most attempts, or is there some kind of like thing with her?
She's really, and again, I'm a Bailey fan, but I've said this the last couple of weeks with Johnny, and I've said this with Santa. Like, I think she like hit a peak with that last championship run, and after she dropped that belt, she has just, in my opinion, gone down. But yet, she's just she is over, and they have her doing all these other outside activities and all this stuff. So
As
she's a star. She is an absolute star.
as over, okay, if she's a star and if she's as over as she should be able to put away her ego, sit in the back and let the younger girls, the up and comers, have their chance at that spotlight. It's the same as
Well,
Charlotte. It's
well,
the
hey,
same as Naomi.
but John,
It's the
let's
same
face.
with a lot of these girls. They need to go home, do the dishes.
But John,
I'm sorry.
But John, you got to. But here's the thing: Bailey's not calling the shots. Whoever's writing the stories and booking these things
I think
is
she's got.
calling the
I think
shots.
she's friend. I think Michael Cole's the one that hired her because the innuendos always there. You know, there's an underlying story between Michael Cole always. If he's the one that's hiring her and always the one that's got the great opinion, whichever way it is, this girl's been there too long. She needs to go away. She really does. Send her to Japan. She's good. Let her go work in Japan. Take Charlotte with you. Go work in Japan. And you know what? You give Nia that shot that you want to give Charlotte because the way he feels that Charlotte and Nia is just a waste of talent, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel about Charlotte. And if they're giving her shots like that, they should just keep giving Nia titles.
I'm waiting for Santa's opinion on.
Oh, I know he's going to disagree because he does not like Nia. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. You know, I only like Nia because I think she's a better talent than most of the girls that they have there. It's not that she is a great talent.
I agree.
Come on, Santa. You really agree? Let me poke the bear.
No,
He
I
does,
agree. She's not a great talent.
Oh, there you go.
but she's a better talent than most that
No,
roster.
no, no. You said she's not a great talent, and I agreed. And that's we're good. We're good, man.
She may not be a
Fist
great
bump.
talent, but she's
Fist
better.
bump.
Oh, look, he's just going to. I'm going to see you real soon.
No, you're not. I'm gonna have a restraining order by the time that show comes up. Johnny's like, yeah, get in line.
You know what? May 3rd. By that point, it'll be the truly off season, and Santa will shave. You won't even know who he is.
No, I don't shave anymore.
Are you not shaving?
I haven't shaved in like fucking 5 years.
I could tell you this from watching this NXT show. The next one better be better than this, or I give up on the NXT altogether. Yeah, I would talk. I'm talking about the writing on it. Too much. No good.
I mean, we could complain about the writing all day long. That's always going to be the problem in all the shows. Um, the talent is definitely there. The only thing is they need to work with a lot of these kids on their ring presence and personalities. And I think they got money, and they also got to start giving some of them a chance. You know, um, the main roster, it's aging out. You know, you can't keep relying on your Rey Mysterios and your um,
John Cena.
yeah, to carry you. If that, I'm gonna go on record right now. If you got to rely on your past stars to draw you a crowd, then you're doing something wrong. There should be new stars being built besides Walter or Gunther. Who's come out of NXT? Well, you got Theory, but they kind of squad. Who's come out of NXT that's like catching on, or they've done anything with? They brought up Carmelo Hayes, who was over and making a killing in NXT, and they've done nothing with him. It's like this is your minor league. They should be coming up and starting to be groomed for the next generation, but they're hanging on to these old guys and these old storylines because they're not doing this right. It's like us, man. We couldn't work forever, you know, and if an indie had to rely on bringing us back, then they're doing something wrong, man. You got to build new stars. You got to get, and that's part of being a booker. You got to figure out how to get these guys over with the people, and when they're over, you got to give them a storyline. You got to make sure that the crowd, stays invested.
Well,
And
you know what the problem is too with the booking, and this is something where I don't think Johnny realizes how it really works. Is they literally have like 10, 15 fucking agents in backstage,
Yeah.
and they assign each agent to a feud, and you're now producing that's your thing, and that's what you're responsible for, and you're responsible for being involved in the writing, the booking, the producing of those matches of that feud. So it's weird. It's weird the way they do it, and it's just like there's just so many hands in the fire of each thing.
And the problem is when with all the way they do that, they're not thinking of the next. So back in the day, you had, say, somebody feuding with Tully Blanchard.
Right.
You knew that after Blanchard was Flair. You knew that it was going to go someplace. When a guy feuded with somebody, there was always another feud, or there was something to keep him interesting waiting. You didn't see them just drop off. But with these writers, they write their story. They either get it over or they don't. And then people just disappear off the face of the earth. Like a year ago or a couple years ago or a year ago, LA Knight was the hottest thing they had. And
that dude's getting a lot of heat.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah. Well, whose fault is that?
They're all going to. It's always been that way. Seriously, you have
but
your guy come into territory, and they would give you 6 weeks worth of TV for the feud. It did it in Memphis like that also. It's nothing new. The problem I see is you don't have talent the way it used to be. You don't have Dick Slater. You don't have Warrior. You don't have Sting. You don't have Tully Blanchard. You don't have Magnum. You don't have none of those types of men's men anymore. What you got is a bunch of groomed, skinny, little muscle greased up dudes that think they're playing a video game. And the guys that are writing this are being video game editors, and that's all they're looking for. The next move for the video game. And that's what I believe the problem is. It's entertainment, it's not wrestling. They don't care about wrestling, they care about entertainment. You and I want to see these matches that are great, and you want run-ins, and you want a lot of this and that in there. They're not going to give you that, because to them, that's not what's selling. It's Netflix. How much backstage bullshit does Netflix give you? And they took away the time, and they give you more commercials.
You know what, Johnny? You just said something right there, and I wanted to say this earlier. You watch the month, and I have not seen SmackDown in a long time, but the Monday night show, you watch that or the normal PLEs, and you're seeing 4 or 5 matches and a shit ton of fucking promos and in-ring mic work. So on tonight's NXT show, you got like 2 minutes of fucking promos and mic work.
What do you think you're going to get for WrestleMania? This is going to be, listen, I could see where this WrestleMania is going, and it's going to go down the toilet.
I don't have a good feeling about WrestleMania at all. I really don't.
I don't.
They know they're going to. They got to put it in two nights. It is they're doing.
Yeah.
They do 2 nights. 2 nights of garbage. They're worrying about selling pictures. They got last year. They would have Hulk Hogan $300 for a picture of some ass bucket. Are you kidding me? This is garbage. It really is. It's nothing but garbage. I don't see any of these matches that are going to be coming up any good. I don't care who's in them. They're not giving me anything. You want to give me a match? I'll tell you the match I want to see. Logan beat up CM Punk, and Brock Lesnar come in and then beat them both up. And I know that'll never happen, but that would be an outstanding match. But you're not going to get that. You're definitely not going to get that. And I do understand that, according to a lot of the writers, that CM Punk is going to WrestleMania. Of course, we all know all those ass buckets are going there. But whether they're on the main event or not is what matters to most of them. And whoever had the plans of putting CM Punk against John Cena, against Cody, I believe it is, they just pulled that back, and they're not even in putting CM Punk in that main event. So you watch and see what they do with that dude there.
Let me run through some comments real quick. We got the Brooklyn Ballbuster in the house. Joey, what's up, my dude? From Greenpoint, Brooklyn, saying, what's up, guys? And I can't wait to meet you, Johnny, at WrestleCon. You are on my bucket list. My dream will finally come true.
Oh, I'm going to be there, and I'll definitely be looking forward to meeting you also, and a lot of the other fans.
Jeremy says it was way better when they had Ohio Valley because there was only local TV, not national. So when guys came up to WWE, WWF, a lot of the fans were not as familiar with them. Now they might see them on NXT and be sick of them by the time they go to Raw. And that's a good point, too.
Nah, because a lot of people still don't watch NXT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But I will say this. People love the surprises. That's why Royal Rumble is so over, because people always look forward to seeing, being surprised. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I'm going to agree with both of you on it. I don't think Mania is going to be that great. Yeah. I think they're already telegraphing Uso's going to win the belt.
Yeah.
And I'm not as big a fan of him as everyone else, man. I just don't think he's. I think he's gonna fall flat.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah,
I
I've been saying for the last 2 months now. I can't wait for him to win the belt, but he is a Kerry Von Erich champion, and he should just drop the belt right back in 3 weeks.
And the thing that kills me is Gunther. You had him as champion. Dude's a perfect champion, and you didn't do nothing with him. You didn't feed him anybody. You didn't give him any good feuds.
That dude's a workhorse. He's a fucking beast.
Look at the shape he got himself into.
Hmm.
You know, he puts on great matches. He's a great heel.
Hmm.
That dude should be,
Gunther should be wrestling Roman Reigns for WrestleMania. He
I'd
shouldn't
like
be.
to see that.
He shouldn't be worrying about putting.
And Reigns
some
should be
ass
putting him
bucket
over.
Agreed.
And Reigns should be
Totally
putting
agree.
him over.
Totally agree. Totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you're not getting WrestleMania moments here. You're getting your kids going to spend all your money moments. And that's
Absolutely.
more what it's about, because I believe no matter what they tell you, they are hurting. They are hurting. They have to settle cases out of court. Vince is being taken to court all over the place, and he's settling here, there, and everywhere. They're taking all of them to court. The case, I believe the case might take the WWE and bury it. Seriously. No, you don't think so?
Well,
Just
nah, I think it's
It has nothing. No, it has nothing to do with the new company.
yeah, it's
the
Vince.
new company. Let me tell you
all
something. When the RICO Act comes in, it isn't going to make a difference. It won't make a difference. TK, listen, man.
He don't wrestle anymore.
We'll see.
Rico retired.
We'll see. We will see.
Magic Mike has a good question, and this is from the era that I was not watching, so I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. Is Michelle McCool a Hall of
Absolutely.
Fame because she's married to Undertaker?
Absolutely. I don't even
well,
know. I got news
and she's
for
on
you.
that, and
I
she's
didn't
on
know
their
who
new
she
show.
was.
She's on their new show
Wow.
where the legends train the new kids.
Let's be for real. Let's be
TV
for
show.
real. Wait. Let's be for real. If the people that are writing the WWE Titan Sports, TKO Sports, whatever you want to call it, if they're writing it, don't you think they already know who's going to be in that fake Hall of Fame? I mean, seriously, do you think Michelle McCool's someone that deserves to be in a Hall of Fame? Not at all. Not at all. Would she hold the belt for 5 seconds?
She was good, but she was average.
Where's Kelly?
Please.
Exactly, man.
If they
nothing, it means.
I'll be honest, but let's look at this realistically. Man, I'm going to get heat for this one.
Where's this Hall of Fame? Can I visit it? Where do I get the tickets to visit it? Where is it?
Now here was Frank, Santa. Please hold your thought.
Mm-hmm.
They recently just sold the old Titan Towers in Connecticut. I said, why don't you take that Titan Towers and make it the WWE Hall of Fame?
Because it's on the 33rd parallel and it's a Masonic cube. Next.
Well, remember they had that. They had that show where they were buying up the old memorabilia.
Yeah.
And the rumor was that was to put in the
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame. And I know Dana White was interested in having a physical one, so I think that may be coming at some point.
I mean,
when they run out of money and there's nothing left to bilk the people for, they'll then and then only will you get to see a picture of Andre the Giant and walk by the smelly tights of Hulk Hogan. Yeah. And then you might get to put on a pair of Oakleys from Randy Savage. They're not going to do anything, man. If they were going to do, listen, if they were going to do anything and they thought it was really a profitable adventure besides selling tickets in some arena, I think that Vince would have did it already. The mastermind of the swerve and of this phony Hall of Fame. These are just guys patting themselves on the back. My opinion. I don't know, man. I never thought the WWF was really that great of a product as far as wrestling went anyway. The NWA was always a better product.
Well, Jeremy says they have not thought outside the box with booking for decades, and that is the problem. He also says they should have run with LA Knight. It could have been a new attitude era. I have to disagree with you there.
Not happening. He couldn't carry the workload.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Johnny, that's all true. There are a bunch of cowards who would run from the fans instead of break their arms like Dick Murdoch would. Laugh out loud. Agreed, John. And there was the mic drop. Johnny's had a couple mic drops tonight. Less talking, more fucking wrestling. I want to see Tony versus HotBody one more time. That's what I want to see.
You can watch that on YouTube. As far as right now goes, Johnny has a hard enough time going up and down in an elevator where I live.
Johnny, I need a picture of your arm tattoo for your custom figure, man. That's Bill Struthers, the dude who makes all the custom figures of everybody.
Well, there's a lot of tattoos there.
Yeah.
Both arms are done.
Reigns should definitely put Gunther over.
See, Nick, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Reigns should put Gunther over. I think it should be a great match that ends in a time limit. What happened to the time limit draw? Where's the hour man at? I mean, these guys are supposed to be champions. I have yet to see a match from any of these bozos that wear those titles. And that's the truth. You know, I'm not too fond of Ric Flair because over the years I've seen his match repeated over and over and over. But the thing is, that man wrestled every night of the week, hour at a time, and better at times. The champions back in the day were 10 times better. They could all go an hour, drink beer, kick your ass no matter what you thought about them. The guys today, I don't think they could wrestle an hour. I don't even think they could last 20 minutes with their wives. And that's my opinion.
And they can't drink beer either.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. they're all lactose intolerant and gluten. Gluten. You drink too much gluten, your dick will fly off.
Give me the fucking gluten. Jeremy said she did nothing there at all to be in the Hall of Fame. Santa don't know what to do. He's trying to hide. She did nothing there at all to be in the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame is ridiculous.
He's talking about Michelle McCool. Of course, yeah. No, I agree.
He also says everything's 33, Johnny.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. There's also the 66, which is double the 33, Route 66, right?
Gianni says Yeet is not winning the belt at Mania.
Yes, he is.
See, you would think he wouldn't. You would think the writers would come up with some kind of crazy run-in or, but like you said, it's so predictable. Is it really wrestling anymore when the fans
all they see is
what to do? Yeah, the fans.
This is all they see.
The fans tell the bookers what they want. It's not their booker giving the fans what they don't want, which would put more asses in the chairs because you want to see something, man. You expect to see a great fight, man. Not today. You ain't allowed to fight. It's all, oh, well, let's lock up. You want to arm drag me?
Bill Struthers says, I think Hogan once said he wrestled 400 days in 1 year.
He did say that. He absolutely did. And then he tried to write it by saying he flew to Japan. So if he flew to Japan and wrestled in the States here, and then he flew to Japan, he actually wrestled 2 times in one day, which is what Flair did every day for a while there. He actually wrestled 3 times a day.
That's that new math. Every night of the week, twice on Sunday, and go all night with the girls afterwards. Woo! You know what she did to get in the Hall of Fame, and that is she did the Taker. Laugh out loud. If they back themselves into a corner, just let Uso win the belt on TV, then drop it real quick and move on.
Yeah, Monday night drop off.
Yeah, or how about that? Imagine him if he won on Sunday night. Well, that'll probably be Cody's belt. So if he wins on Saturday, then drops the belt back on Monday.
Nah, they'll give it to him, and then they'll.
Nick Infante in the house. What's up, brother? Hello, gentlemen.
Does
So-
anyone really know who's writing this stuff?
It's
Is
like
it
I
Tito
said,
Santana? Is it Ricky Steamboat?
you have dozens of people involved.
Oh
in
no,
it.
they don't know. None of the wrestlers are writers.
Is
They're
Dave
just agents.
Malenko a wrestler? Is a writer now?
They're just agents in the back. They are not writing any of the matches.
It seems like, not for nothing. When we used to do it, we didn't have an agent, and we had great matches. Well, some of us had great matches.
Well, you know what
And even with agents, could you really have a great match?
you know what my problem with the agents are? They got all these agents who are wrestlers, but not one of them was a wrestler who made Dime One.
There you go. There you
Think about it. Adam Pearce, the guy who was Kurt Angle's kid for a little while. Jamie Noble, the one kid from the Spirit Squad. I mean, these are.
I would like a list of. I wonder if I can. Like a list of the current WWE agents.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Because you got Carino in NXT.
Steve Corino?
Yeah, he's an agent in NXT.
He's a good guy right there. He was a great worker, man. Really.
Road Dogg just got promoted to.
Actually, if you look at the list, I think he's the only agent that probably made money that they got on there. Let me see here. Let me see.
What do you expect Monday night, Bay?
Honestly, I have no clue. I don't think at this point in time, as we're here Saturday night, 10:22 Eastern time, I don't think they have a fucking clue what's going to be airing Monday night. I think they wait anymore. Total last minute. I think there was one match announced last week. I think it was Penta was announced in a match.
Sorry, I just saw who one of the agents was.
Who's that?
Eric Watts.
Oh, no way.
So
you think that these agents are making are making all the calls on these matches?
They're not. So you got some of the names I recognize is Gabe Soplatsky. Sapolsky,
Hey.
whatever.
Yeah, Gabe's one of the bookers for sure. I know that.
Drake Maverick.
I don't even know who he is.
Real small guy. He wrestled in TNA as Rockstar Spud. Actually was a decent worker, but a real tiny dude. Jeremy Borash, which dude ran TNA into the ground. Billy Kidman. Chris Parks.
That's a name I was wondering whatever happened to him. Billy Kidman. He's been there for years.
Great worker there too.
Yeah.
Didn't make like. So like I'm looking, and there is not one. So here's some of the agents: Billy Kidman, Chris Parks, who used to be Abyss in TNA.
Okay.
Jamie Noble, Jason Jordan, Kenny Dykstra.
Don't know.
Michael Hayes, which is Kenny Dykstra was one of the Spirit Squad dudes.
Okay.
Molly Holly, Petey Williams, Robert Roode, Shane Helms, Sean Davari, and TJ Wilson.
Oh, here you go. I just found a list. One of their writers, Dewey Foley.
Dewey Foley?
Mick Foley's kid.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And how many writers do they have?
I heard there's at least like 30.
30 writers responsible for this crap that they call wrestling on TV. And who gets to finalize everything that goes out? I'm sure each one of those 30 are given the batch they be handling, but who do they present their smoke blowing and mirror pulling tricks to? Who has that final say? Would it be the great Paul, or would it be the great Paul?
No, I think it's the great Paul. That's Triple H. He has the true final say now.
Do you? Yeah.
Oh wow, Road Dogg just got promoted to senior vice president of live events.
Yeah.
Is Jarrett with them?
No, Jarrett's in AEW. He's actually on his retirement tour.
Well, now that you found the list of the writers, maybe we should all put in resumes to those people and say, we're looking for work to latch onto this gravy train because you guys are involved in this crap. I'm sure that we could be responsible for even more crappier wrestling.
I would get my ass kicked the first night in the locker room.
How you figure? Come on.
Because as soon as I saw the half the angles I would crap on, and I mean,
well, listen, see, quite seriously,
I like stuff that
get.
I like stuff that makes sense.
Yeah,
and I hate, and I also like payoffs. I always say, like, this is what drives me nuts about the feuds today. When you were feuding with Tony, you were the heel. If you attacked him, you got out of the ring. The payoff was never seeing you get your ass beat until the feud was over.
Yes.
But you see, like, guys come out, they start beating on Cody Rhodes, he makes a comeback and drives them from the ring. Where's the payoff? No, dude, I want to see you get beat up and left laying. The payoff is when you finally get, and they just don't do that, and it makes no sense. Like, what's the point of, okay, prime example tonight, the Japanese guy. What's the point of me putting him in there with anybody when he just got pinned by a 120-pound guy?
You're absolutely correct.
How am I supposed to get him over now?
To
Stuff
you and
like
I,
that.
there would be, to you and I, sensible thinking. There would be no recovery from that. We'd be probably out of a job if people were really paying attention to what was going on to the product. But I guess in their hearts and their eyes, those guys are mid-level curtain jerkers, and intermission guys anyway. So, right now, they're lucky to have a job. Let them learn their craft, and it shouldn't matter anyway, because as most great promoters will try to convince you, it's not about winning. It's about making both of you look great there. It's not about the win. It's about the love of working with each other and helping each other be over.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Well, maybe one day somewhere along the line you get the chance.
Oh, I had the chance. I booked my own shows. I did good. I mean, the only reason I packed it in is because it was too much work for just one person,
And it's better to be Santa.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to show up for the shows, but no one wanted to. Remember, I would hold them sessions to film the promos,
Yep.
and I explained to the guys, look, man, this is getting you over, and the more people that show up, the more gimmick you sell. You were getting paid for me, so. But like I said, it's the product today is just, and I hate to sound like an old man. It's just, it doesn't captivate you. A match here or a match there will grab my attention, but there's no storylines right now that I can say, like, I look forward to. Ain't like back in the day.
Well, that's a mouthful right there.
Salute.
Well, this was our first night together, the three of us. What did you guys think?
I'm getting a restraining order for both of you at this point.
Hey, it's better yet, what did the people watching think? Let's get some
That's
quick
more
comments
important,
before we sign off.
You know what? I enjoyed it because you know what? I'm one of them people that I like hearing other people's opinion. I don't need to agree with you, but I will respect it.
Yeah, definitely. I like doing it. It's just a shame the product tonight wasn't. Oh, I don't know.
I honestly,
it was good for what it was, I guess. It's I didn't know what to expect, so I didn't go in there. If I had to give it a rating 1 to 10, I'd say it was about a 7.5. As far as
I think that's fair.
Yeah, as
I
far
think
as
that's fair.
yeah.
Um,
I'll tell you one thing. I don't expect WrestleMania to be that high.
I don't even.
I'll tell you this. I seen a lot of potential tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I seen a lot of people who I'd like to see. I'd love to see Anoa'i go toe to toe with Gunther, or even Jacob Fatu. I'd love to see Waller and Theory get a decent push.
I don't see those two.
I think once Stephanie Vacor and Julia come up to the main roster, they're gonna set it on fire. So there's a lot of potential there. It's just the writers are going to have to, you know,
And you have to remember also, a lot of those people that are there already, if they're not willing to give up their spot to the new talent will just get buried the way
Well-
we see it get buried for the likes of Charlotte Flair. And I agree with you so much on the Tiffany Stratton deal. I think she is such a great talent, along with Dakota Kai. Oh my God, those girls could work. They could definitely work. And to waste a payday on people that just don't belong there, man. They're not happy they have a job, man. They're not. I guess if they had to have a real job, then they will learn what it's like to be lucky to have the jobs they had.
So I'm going to say this, and I know this is not a popular opinion. When they brought back Naomi, I would have never let her set foot in a WWE ring again after what she pulled. General principle, you're a champion, and because you didn't get your way, you walked out. She would have never, and that goes for Mercedes Moné or whatever she calls herself nowadays. They would have never set foot back in that ring,
and neither
ever
would
again.
CM Punk.
You know,
I agree with you totally, and the same goes with that CM Punk. That kid deserves. He should be selling flowers at the exit of I-95 on Washington Avenue. He's a creep. I know what the CM stands for. I'm not allowed to say.
please don't. Please don't. On that note,
Gianni would like to come on with us one week.
Sure, why not?
We'll be back Monday night. Santa, will you be available? You gotta work. You gotta be in bed early.
Nah, I get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. I want that bumper to be up, sir. Could you put that bumper up?
What bumper?
So, yeah, let me see. I might be able to
Watch.
do it.
See, wait. See, you're going to be mad, Santa. You're definitely going to be mad when you see this one. He's come up with some artistic work that's just incredible.
No, wait. This is not me being artistic. This is Jeremy Crenity, who did this. Let me see. How the fuck do I do this?
Come on, you could open up another window. Put that up there, man.
Okay, here we go. Wait a minute, wait. How do I add video? Add video. The fuck? Oh, here we go. Add video. Okay. Let's see. It's processing. Come on. Relax.
Dude,
I'll have to get another one made up.
Do you know that if she wasn't married probably to the Yeet, she wouldn't be hired?
She's not married to the Yeet. She's married to the other one.
No Yeet.
Oh, she's no Yeet then?
She's no Yeet.
No,
Yeah, she's no Yeet.
She's married to Yeet.
No.
Well,
she's
she's
Yeetless.
She's a vegetarian.
All right, here you go.
Yo, it's Monday night, the lights shine bright. Chubby and Johnny bring it the insight. We recap the show, every slam and every throw. In the ring, all the drama, just let it flow. Let's break it down right. Monday Night Raw, we're running like a clock. Chubby and HotBody, we're ready to rock. In the square circle, nothing's ever the same. Breaking down the action, we're playing the game.
Come on, you got to fucking yeet to that. Come on. When the banner goes down, we're gonna play that, John. and Joel's gonna kick both our asses.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't need to put up with this.
Oh shit! It's so funny. Come on now. But Jeremy, thank you for doing that, man.
Yes.
Jeremy's like a fucking genius when it comes to these fucking things, man. He knows how to work that shit.
Thank you, Jeremy. I like it.
Let's see. Anything else you guys want to add?
My pillow to my head.
There you go.
I'm good.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a fun night. It's pretty funny that our recap shows go almost as long as the actual shows.
Filler.
Right. Monday night we'll be back. Myself and Johnny Breaking Raw, our Breaking Raw show. I mean, in reality, if I had the time, we'd be on here every night because there's wrestling on every night. We could break down and have fun with.
So you know what I want to do?
What's that?
One night we gotta watch an AEW and just seriously.
Where's AEW's what on Max?
It's on Max, it's on TNT, and it's on TBS.
Yeah, it's on. Same with fucking SmackDown. I don't get those channels.
You don't get TBS or TNT?
No, I don't have cable. I don't have a. Here. You know what I have? I have YouTube. I have fucking Netflix, Peacock, and I think that's it.
You need to get a Fire Stick.
You know what? I talked to a guy the other day, and he.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy who knows a guy, and he's like, that's what he said. He's like, get a Fire Stick, and I can hook it up for you.
Listen, you get a Fire Stick, you put a downloader on there. You go right in there. It has a server. So you go in there, you type downloader. You put the downloader in there, and then you put the code in there for Gamma IPTV. You get the Gamma IPTV. You download that on your Fire Stick. You pay $10 a month. You got 9,600 stations. Yeah, you heard me right. 9,600 stations. And all my channels skip by to WWE. AEW. Yeah, I don't watch the AEW. I couldn't do that. That'd be like just asking me to just.
Oh, no. I just want you guys to watch it to see how actually bad it is.
We would really end up.
Well, here's the thing, quite seriously. This what's it? Only Tony Khan that's trying to produce his product there with no help.
Well, no, the problem is he put guys on there who like the Young Bucks who only care about getting themselves over and could care less about the rest of the product.
Listen, I got names for them, and it's CUNTS. All right. I don't like those two idiots at all.
Why do you think they're cute?
I said I spelled them C-U.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I misheard you. I thought you said they were cute.
Nah. What? You might have you go that way, you might have to get
I thought you said they were CUTE.
No, listen, man.
That's what I heard, and that's what we're gonna let it go. On that note.
Everybody,
don't they own AEW?
Nah, they're just executive EPs or EP something. I don't know.
with Jericho, right? Jericho and
No, Jericho.
Rhodes.
No, Jericho. Well, Rhodes was before he came to WWE. EVP. So it's them and Kenny Omega.
Okay. Well, Kenny Omega's a great talent. I don't understand AEW not doing well. I really don't. When you have talent, really, this is
Doesn't mean you can book, man.
yeah. If you have talent and you can't use them, you shouldn't even you shouldn't even be in business, because if well, then again, WWE's doing terrible with their booking, and they're doing better in ratings than AEW, which makes no sense to me at all. At all.
Well, if you watch it at AEW, it would make sense.
Can I tell you, Chubb, I would tell you something. You know what I watch seriously when it comes to wrestling?
What's
I
that?
watch YouTube's the NWA in Mid South. I watch the old Mid South with DiBiase and
I love that
Dr.
stuff.
Death and Stan Hansen, Brody. That was some great wrestling right there. And,
You know
that's
what we
the
gotta do?
problem with the wrestling of today. You don't have guys that can work the way those guys did. I don't care about all the flopping around, all the yeeting. None of these guys have the ability to work like those guys from the UWF. Period.
Well, you know what we need to do? We need to maybe some way figure out a way to like pick an episode of like old Mid South or old World Class or something like that, and watch it and break it down, and like have the fans pick the episode.
You could watch AWA from the Tropicana in Atlantic City.
I don't want to watch
Okay,
that.
and
I
listen,
guarantee it's not good.
listen, you're wrong. I'll tell you what. As bad as it is, it's better than the product that you're watching coming from the WE. And I mean that when I watch it and I'm entertained with Larry Zbyszko. I'm entertained by Colonel De Beers, Sergeant Slaughter, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. The matches are great. It's, if you're putting it up against anything that's on TV today, these matches 30 years ago, 35 years, even go back further, are 10 times, 20 times better than any product that's happening today. Just
Stop
my
doing it.
opinion, and I
Stop
believe
doing it,
Joel
Sam.
Goodhart feels the same way. The WE is not wrestling. It is not wrestling what we're watching. It's a joke.
Well, there you go. So, on that note, everybody, thanks again for tuning in. We will be back Monday night, Johnny and myself breaking Raw. And Santa will be back, I'm guessing, when's the Elimination Chamber? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. The three of us, the triple threat, will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, everybody, have a great night. Thank you, and be safe, and see ya.
Have a good one.